Here are the 9 celebrity contestants preparing for today's show. Only one of them can win up to £50,000 for charity. The others will leave with nothing when they're voted off as the weakest link.
Welcome to a quiz show edition of The Weakest Link. The 9 people in the studio are all ex-game show hosts. Of course, tonight, I'm the one asking the questions. They're here to win up to £50,000 for charity. However, if they want that prize money, they'll have to work as a team. But 8 of them will leave with nothing, as round by round we lose the player voted the weakest link. Let's meet the team.
I'm Lionel Blair. I was team captain on Give Us a Clue for 12 years and hosted Name That Tune for 4 years.
Hi, I'm Jim Bowen. In 1980, I introduced the nation to a game show that set the television industry back 20 years. Hello.
Hello, everybody. I'm Derek Beatty, and for almost 40 years, I asked the questions on the husband and wife quiz show, Mr. and Mrs. My motto was always, be nice to each other. So what am I doing here?
Hello, I'm Jenny Powell. I'm not a mastermind, but I'm going for gold, so if you give us a clue, this could be my Wheel of Fortune.
Who am I? My name is Henry Kelly. For 10 years, I presented Going for Gold on BBC television. And strangely enough, for the last 10 or 11 years, I've been a morning presenter on the classical music station, Classic FM.
Hi, I'm Lenny Bennett. I presented Punchlines and Lucky Ladders. And I'm on The Weakest Link because I wanted to meet a television icon, Lionel Blair.
Hi, I'm Isla St Clair. I'm a singer, but I'm best known for co-hosting The Generation Game with Larry Grayson.
Hi, I'm Ed Stewpot Stewart. I've been presenting radio and TV programmes for over 40 years, one of which has been Crackerjack!
Hello, I'm Magnus Magnusson. I used to host a quiz programme called Mastermind, but not quite in this black chair.
Now, the rules in each round, the aim is to answer enough questions correctly to reach your £5,000 target within the time limit. The fastest way is to create a chain of 9 correct answers. Get your question wrong and you break the chain and lose all the money in that chain. But if you say bank before the question is asked, the money is safe. However, you start a new chain from scratch. Remember, team, at the end of the round, only money that's been banked can be taken forward. In round 1, there are 3 minutes on the clock. We'll start with the person whose name is first alphabetically. That's you, Derek. Let's play The Weakest Link. First question is for £100. Start the clock. Derek, in TV and Mastermind, which word was used by contestants who did not know the answer to a question and wished to move on to the next?
Pass.
Correct, Jenny. In theatre, in the pantomime Aladdin, the name of the dame is Widow who?
Twankey.
Correct, Henry. In the animal kingdom, what J is the term for a young kangaroo?
I have no idea.
Joey. Lenny. The TV game show presented by Nicholas Parsons that always began tonight from Norwich, it's the quiz of the week, was Sale of the what?
Century.
Correct. Isla. In the UK, the Ramblers Association was officially founded in 1935 for people whose hobby is what? Talking or walking?
Walking.
Correct. Stewpot. In aviation, which slang term for smashing or great precedes sonic to give a word meaning faster than sound?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
In aviation, which slang term for smashing or great precedes sonic to give a word meaning faster than sound?
Through the sound barrier.
Super. Magnus. In the USA, what is the usual name of the Californian city often referred to as LA?
Los Angeles.
Correct. Lionel. In food, what C is the general name for shredded raw cabbage and carrots mixed with mayonnaise and served as a salad?
Coleslaw.
Correct. Jim. In maths, what is 112 minus 110?
2.
Correct. Derek. In the UK, if a car is used on public roads, a current tax disc must be displayed where on the vehicle?
On the windscreen.
Correct. Jenny. In April 2003, a contestant, his wife and a college lecturer were found guilty of cheating in which TV quiz show?
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Correct. Henry. Which letter of the alphabet goes before string to give the names of both the scanty undergarment and the lowest string on a violin?
G.
Correct, Lenny.
Bank.
What name specifically denotes the area ruled by an emperor?
Empire.
Correct, Isla. In biology, what H is the medical name for bad breath?
Halitosis.
Correct, Stewpot. In literature, which dramatist wrote the plays Richard II, Richard III and Henry V?
Shakespeare.
Correct, Magnus. In November 2002, a Russian TV game show became the first in the world to offer as a prize a trip to where, space or Siberia?
Space.
Correct. Lionel, in the UK, the towns of Colchester, Saffron Walden and Brentwood are in which English county?
Essex?
Correct, Jim. In pop music, according to the title of the 1972 UK hit single by Johnny Nash, there are more questions than what?
Answers.
Correct, Eric. In
Bang.
film, what G is the name by which comedian Julius Henry Marx was better known?
Pardon?
In film, what G is the name by...
Groucho.
Correct, Jenny. In music, La Marseillaise is the name of the national anthem of which European country?
France.
Correct, Henry. In 1970s fashion, Swedish tennis player Bjorn Borg was famous for wearing which item of headwear, a baseball cap or a headband?
A headband.
Correct, Lenny. OK. You've reached and bagged your £5,000 target. That, of course, was the first round and pathetically easy. Who are you worried about? Who perhaps is too old, too stupid, too has-been? That pretty well covers all of you. It's time to vote on the weakest link.
According to the statistics, Derek is the first strongest link. Stewpot is the weakest link, but who will lose out in the first round vote?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Henry.
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 Stewpot.
Jilly. Sorry, Jane.
Stewpot.
Derek.
Jim.
Henry.
Magnus. Now, you presided over a very important quiz show, so you won't mind if I ask you a particularly difficult question.
I won't mind. I won't be able to answer it, though.
Oh, I think you will. In October 2000, when The Weakest Link was launched, which old duffer said, "I can quite understand how Anne Robinson has just been rated the rudest person on television because she is a dreadful woman"?
What was the question?
3 weeks later, which old duffer said, "The weakest link is the theatre of cruelty"?
I take it you mean me.
2 weeks after that, which old duffer said, "The weakest link is an abomination. It should be taken off the air"?
I never realised I'd been so charitable.
The real question is, why is that old duffer now on my show?
Because you asked me on.
How old are you?
63. No, 73.
Why Henry?
Well, he had the bad luck to be the first person to get a
Oh,
question
this
wrong.
is going to go on forever.
But I have started, so I'll finish. He had the bad luck to be the first person to get a question wrong, and that sticks in your memory.
So, Lionel, what I find fascinating here
Yes.
is the hair.
Why?
Well, there's the wigs, there's the baldies, there's the ones who've had them dyed, and then there's you. No thatching in the front there.
No? Look, Ray.
Give it a good pull. Oh, that's very impressive.
Oh, thank you. And may I say how lovely you're looking?
No, don't waste your breath.
Oh, all right.
How old are you?
I was born in 1938.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was. 12/12/38.
So, are you claiming to still be in your 60s?
Yes. Are you?
Are you still acting?
Yes, I've just done a big stint in Crossroads.
Are you still acting? Are you still dancing?
Just a bit.
OK, do just a bit dancing.
All right, just for you.
Hi, Henry.
We've all been doing jokes and everything, Joey's, and I thought he might have known that a baby kangaroo was a Joey. But everybody's been so good that it was the only one that I could... Sorry.
So, Derek, how old are you?
75 this year. I know what you're thinking, because I started doing Mr. and Mrs. in 1967. And you're probably thinking, what was a boy of 12 doing introducing a quiz show? But you're not thinking that either.
I'm thinking, where do you live?
I live in St. Anne's-on-Sea.
Lytham St. Anne's?
Lytham St. Anne's, very clean town. The pigeons and the seagulls fly upside down. It's a rather posh town, St. Anne's.
And if you live in Lytham St. Anne's, do you have to wear pale blue shirts like that with short sleeves?
There are a lot of blue shirts about tonight, aren't there?
Do you know, the only people I know who wear pale blue shirts at your age are men who also have grey shoes.
No, white shoes, Anne?
Even worse.
Oh!
Why, Henry?
Well, as I say, there's a lot of blue shirts, and maybe one less would help to balance the colour. And he did get one wrong.
So, Henry, who's Jilly?
Jenny, Jilly, what's in a name?
No wonder you're on radio.
I got so confused and so embarrassed having missed my first answer that when it came to voting somebody off...
Joey, Jilly, Jenny...
Annie...
Harry, you are the weakest
Tom.
link. Goodbye.
I'm not too upset about the fact that I've been voted off a quiz programme because I know nothing about jumping monkeys or whatever they are in Australia. To be honest, you may as well win it or be off first, because nobody's going to remember who came second.
Round two. You've won £5,000. You're down to 8 players. We're now taking 10 seconds off your time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Derek. Let's play the weakest link. Start clock. Derek, which word is a common euphemism for overweight and also describes the stuffed toy always offered as a prize on the Generation game?
Cuddly.
Correct, Jenny. When a situation is dominated by a factor of minor importance, it's said that the tail is wagging which animal?
Dog.
Correct, Lenny. In reference to a centre of operations, the word headquarters is often abbreviated to which 2 letters?
HQ.
Correct, Isla. In UK politics, what is the name of the Chancellor of the Exchequer who in April 2003 delivered his 7th budget?
Gordon Brown.
Correct, Stewpot. In TV, which game show was originally presented by Roy Walker in 1986 and featured a computer-animated character called Mr. Chips?
Oh, yeah, crossword. No,
No, I have to accept your first answer. Catchphrase. Magnus, in descriptions of chocolate, what M is the usual alternative to plain?
Milk.
Correct. Lionel, in the UK, a lively party is often referred to by what 2-word term that derives from a Cockney song featuring Mother Brown?
The knees up.
Correct, Jim. What P is the name of a device for regulating the heartbeat and a runner nominated to set the standard in a race?
Pulse.
No pacemaker. Derek. In the animal kingdom, a type of colonial jellyfish with long, stinging tentacles is known as a Portuguese man of what?
War.
Correct, Jenny. In history, in a speech made in 1938, Neville Chamberlain promised what? Peas on our plate or peace in our time?
Peace in our lifetime.
Correct. Lenny. In TV, in May 2002, which presenter began hosting the National Lottery quiz show In It to Win It?
Dale Winton.
Correct. Isla. In music, which London building is a memorial to the husband of Queen Victoria and is the main venue for the annual Proms concerts?
Royal Albert Hall.
Correct. Stewpot.
Bank.
In fashion, what ale is the usual term for inserts placed inside shoes to give the wearer the appearance of being taller?
Lifts.
Correct. Magnus. In football, which country won the 1966 World Cup?
England.
Correct. Lionel. In science, the common term for the theoretical primate once thought to bridge the gap between apes and humans is the what link?
Mission.
Correct. Jim. In slang, a police informer is sometimes known as a what? Stool pigeon or sofa dove?
Stool pigeon.
Correct. Derek. In
Bank.
clothing, sleeves are the parts of a garment that cover which limbs?
Arms.
Correct. Jenny. In the UK, which annual holiday is said to be a time for giving?
Thanksgiving.
Christmas. Lenny. In the TV game show The Golden Shot, what bee was the name of the character who placed the bolt in the crossbow?
Bernie.
Correct. Isla. The painting commonly known as the Mona Lisa is housed in which art gallery?
The Louvre.
Correct. Stewpot.
Bank.
Which three-word phrase could describe both a doomed relationship and a drink served with ice?
Oh, no. Pass.
On the rocks. Magnus. Which Charles Dickens novel begins with Mr. Grand... Time's up. I can't complete the question. Now, you had a chain of 9 correct answers in that round, but you only banked £2,250, whereas you could have reached the target of £5,000 again. Whose fault was it that you didn't? Who's now looking very blankety blank? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
The statistics show that Derek is the strongest link again and Stewpot is the weakest link. But will the voting follow the facts?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Stewpot.
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 Ed.
I'm very glad I don't have to vote for myself. Jenny.
Jenny.
How's it going, Jim?
Awfully well, Anne, thank you.
How old are you now?
65 plus VAT.
What was your game show?
It was called Bullseye.
There is a rumour that you were once a stand-up comedian.
Used to be funny, yes.
Can you try now?
No, I've tried all night and failed.
Why Stewpot?
Because it's purely personal. He voted me off in the last round for no reason at all.
Jenny, of course, calling you a game show host is fiddling with the truth a bit.
Yeah. I just turn the letters round.
Just pretend you're on Wheel of Fortune.
OK, well, obviously I had high heel shoes on and a very short skirt because that's what men like.
Why would you have a short skirt on?
Well, it's good telly. Well, obviously not, Anne, but it was then.
And Jenny, don't you think with all these old men, you should have worn a short skirt tonight?
Well, obviously I'm not playing on my looks and my sexuality. I'm playing on my brains.
Oh, that was an unfortunate decision, wasn't it? Why Stewpot?
Because I applied for Crackerjack and I never got on.
So, Stewpot, is that all your own hair?
Absolutely.
Is it brushed forward like Bobby Charlton?
Look, there you are.
Oh,
That's
very
all mine.
impressive.
Do you want to touch it?
No, no, I don't think so.
What about the hair?
No. So when did your brain go, dear?
Oh, I went this evening. I was terrified. Having only asked questions before, to have to answer them was quite an ordeal.
Stewpot, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Jenny said she couldn't get on the Crackerjack. Now, that was either as a hostess or as a contestant. But having told me her age, which is 35, folks, I don't think she could have actually been either. So I think she made it up on the spur of the moment. Thank you, Jenny.
Round 3, you're up to £7,250 out of a possible 10,000. You're down to 7 players. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. And that's Derek in the pale blue with the white shoes. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Derek, in geography, what B is the name of the capital city of Switzerland?
Baal.
No, Burn. Jenny, in TV, which 1980s game show featured Annika Rice, a helicopter, and the catchphrase "Stop the clock"?
Oh, the one where she was running around with a lovely bow.
I've got to accept your first answer. The correct one is Treasure Hunt. Lenny, in fashion, which tall, dome-shaped hairstyle popular with women during the 1950s shares its name?
Beehive.
Correct. Isla, in maths, what is the larger quantity, 1/3 or 3/8?
3/8.
Correct. Magnus, in money, what Q is a slang word for £1 sterling?
Quid.
Correct. Lionel, in modern history, the Jubilee celebrated by Queen Elizabeth II in 2002 took its name from which precious metal?
Silver.
No, gold.
Golden.
Jim,
Gold.
in TV, on the game show Bullseye, the letters BFH stand for which sum of money offered to losing contestants?
Bus fare home.
Correct. Derek, in language, in the sentence "It's a lovely day," what should go between the letters T and S in "it's"? An apostrophe or nothing?
An apostrophe.
Correct. Jenny, in England, the Roman Baths Museum and the Pump Room are located in which city?
Bath.
Correct. Lenny, in food, the style of cooking known as teriyaki originated in which country?
Japan.
Correct. Isla, in broadcasting, what B is the name given to the sound used to mask swear words on pre-watershed shows?
Bleep.
Correct. Magnus, in education, which word follows primary and secondary to give the names of two institutions in which children are taught?
School.
Correct. Lionel, one of the most common pub names in the UK is the Rose, and which item of royal headgear?
Head.
Crown. Jim, what is the term for a person who maintains a record of the financial transactions of a business, bookkeeper or bookmaker?
Bookkeeper.
Correct. Derek, in maths, the name of which four-sided two-dimensional shape is also the term for the product of a whole number multiplied by itself?
Parallelogram.
Square. Jenny, in entertainment, which TV game show host began life in show business with the stage name Boy Bruce the Mighty Atom?
Bruce Forsyth.
Correct. Lenny, in nature, what O is the usual term for the study of birds?
Ornithology.
Correct. Isla, according to the Bible, what was the name of the woman who brought about the downfall of Samson by arranging for his hair to be cut off?
I know her. Oh, goodness.
No, I've got to accept that. The correct answer is Delilah. Magnus, in May 2003, which Liverpool and England footballer became a father for the first time when his... Time's up. I can't complete the question. And that was terrible. You only banked £250. So, which has-been is clueless? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Lenny is the strongest link statistically. As the only player to get all his answers wrong, Lionel is the weakest link. But who will the team want off?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Derek.
Isla.
Lionel.
Derek.
Isla.
Derek.
Lionel.
So, Isla,
Yes.
remind us what you used to do?
Well, I used to be on the Generation Game with Larry Grayson.
And what are you doing now?
Well, singing. Do lots of singing.
OK, well, give us a bit of a whirl of something we can tap our toes to. Well, Magnus probably won't like it because he's a bit of an old curmudgeon, but the rest of us will enjoy it.
Sort of lively.
Well, yes, because that'll really annoy him.
Don't know when I feel so blue. I don't know what's come over you. Say it isn't true. And don't it make my brown eyes blue?
OK, well, never mind. You tried. Why Derek?
Why Derek? I think I remembered he didn't answer one question.
And do you think he was statistically the worst player?
No. But I couldn't remember who was, so I just... It was Lionel, of course.
It was Lionel, of course.
Yes, of course it was.
Why Derek?
Well, like me, I couldn't vote for myself, and I got 2 questions wrong. Derek did, so I voted for Derek. Sorry.
Have you finished?
Yes, ma'am.
Derek, everyone's gagging to see your white shoes. Have you got white socks on with them?
Yes.
Oh, I knew you would have.
And white feet underneath.
Derek, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Goodbye. One thing today's proved to me is, and I've always thought this, that the best place to be on a quiz show is the one who asks the questions. But Anne, you are the weakest wink. Goodbye.
Round 4, £7,500 banked so far. Out of potential prize money of £15,000. There are 6 of you left, another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Lenny. Good heavens. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Lenny, what was the name of the 19th century school of artists based in France near the forest of Fontainebleau? Barbizon or barbecue?
Barbizon.
Correct. Isla, in European geography, the flags of Switzerland, Denmark and Poland consist of white and which primary colour?
Red.
Correct. Magnus, in motoring, the removable covering on the wheel of a car is known as a what cap?
Hung.
Correct. Lionel, in medieval history, what was the name for a contest between 2 knights mounted on horseback and armed with lances?
Jousting.
Correct. Jim, in TV, what was the title of the 1980s and 90s travel quiz show hosted by Richard Madeley, Runway or Catwalk?
Runway.
Correct.
Bang.
Jenny, in wrestling, which hold can be double, half or 3/4 and shares its name with a great British admiral?
Colonel.
Nelson. Lenny, in commerce, which 3-letter word precedes price to give a term meaning cheaper?
Cut.
Correct. Isla, what E is a boy's first name that sounds the same as a word meaning sincere? Is an answer? Is an answer?
No. Eugene?
No. Ernest. Magnus, in food, fromage is the French word for which dairy product?
Cheese.
Correct. Lionel, in geography, the volcano called Popocatépetl is in which Latin American country?
Mexico.
Correct. Jim, in men's clothing, which type of suit jacket normally has a greater number of buttons on the front, single-breasted or double-breasted?
Single-breasted.
Double-breasted. Jenny, in pop music, in April 2003, which British singer came top of the Sunday Times entertainment industry rich list?
Could you repeat the question?
I could. In pop music, in April 2003, which British singer came top of the Sunday Times entertainment industry rich list?
Paul McCartney.
That is the correct answer. Lenny, in traditional sayings, the human lifespan of 70 years and 10 is actually equal to how many years?
Could you repeat that?
In traditional sayings, the human lifespan of 70 years and 10 is actually equal to how...
70.
Correct. Time's up. You only won £1,500. Who in the end is more muddle mind than mastermind? It's time to vote off. It's the weakest link.
Lenny is again the strongest link with the most right answers. Statistically, Jim is the weakest link. But will the team notice that?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Isla.
Isla.
Lenny.
Isla.
Jenny.
Isla.
So, Lenny, we'd better start with the hair, hadn't we?
Yes.
When-
I knew this would get personal. I knew it would.
No, I want to know where it's gone.
Well, in the 80s, I had a massive, thick, curly hair. And then it started to turn red, so I shaved it off.
Why Isla?
Well, she took an awfully long time over that question, wasted a lot of time.
So, Mr. Grumpy, did you think Isla was the weakest link?
I did.
Well, she wasn't. Jim, statistically, was the worst player. But it's votes that count. Isla, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Anne asked me to sing. If I asked her to sing, I think she might sing something like, I'm gonna get you, look out, boy, I'm gonna get you. She does.
Round 5. Your total is £9,000. You're down to 5 players. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Lenny. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Lenny, in music, what D is a term for a song of mourning or lamentation?
A dirge.
Correct. Magnus, in TV, the title of the 1980s satirical game show hosted by Julian Clary that featured a round called Bang My Gong was Sticky what?
Don't know.
Moments. Lionel, astronomically speaking, in the Northern Hemisphere, spring officially begins in which month of the year?
The 3rd April.
Correct answer is March.
March.
Jim, which word that rhymes with reckon means to summon with a gesture of the hand?
Beckon.
Correct. Jenny, an attractive woman who becomes a status symbol after she's married a rich and successful man is often known as a trophy what?
Wife.
Correct. Lenny, in UK politics, what's the name of the Conservative MP who resigned as trade spokesman in May 2003, Crispin Blunt or Tarquin Hunt?
Crispin Hunt.
No, Crispin Blunt. Magnus, which 2001 film featuring the voices of Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy won the inaugural Academy Award for an animated feature?
Don't know.
Shrek. Lionel, in biology, the details of the reproductive process are sometimes referred to as the what and the bees.
The birds.
Correct. Jim, in time, how many nanoseconds are there in 1 second? 100 or 1 billion?
100.
1 billion. Jenny, in spelling, as well as the letter S, which vowel is added to the word tomato to make it plural?
E.
Correct. Lenny, in the TV quiz show University Challenge, the order given to teams not to discuss the answers to starter questions is no what?
Conferring.
Correct. Magnus, what A is a word that precedes comedy and medicine to give the names of unorthodox approaches to their subjects?
Alternative.
Correct. Lionel, the part of the British crown jewels called the Star of Africa was cut from the Cullinan, the largest example ever found of which gemstone?
The diamond.
Correct. Jim, in the animal kingdom, termites are also known as what colour ants?
Black.
White. Jenny, in Scottish place names, the word Ben denotes what type of natural feature, a mountain or a bear?
Mountain.
Correct. Lenny, in music, the well-known Indian sitar player and composer is Ravi who?
Shankar.
Correct. Magnus, in fashion, preppy and Ivy League are styles of dress originated by college graduates and students in which country?
USA.
Correct. Lionel, in entertainment, which comedian and actor first came to prominence in the 1970s as the drummer with... Time's up and you only banked £250. So who's forgotten their punchline? Whose ladder has collapsed? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
As the only player to get all her questions right, Jenny is the strongest link. Jim is again the weakest link. But will the voting reflect the statistics?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Magnus.
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 Jenny.
And Jim.
Jenny, it'll be difficult for you to answer, but who do you most lust after on the other podiums?
It would have to actually be Magnus.
Oh, really?
Yes, and that's why I voted him off, because I wanted him to go into his dressing room and get ready.
Does he look as if he's up for it?
Well, I don't mind him sitting down.
Jim, why Magnus?
The man's a legend, and he's doing one sitting down. So I think he ought to go and have a lie down.
He's going to do that with Jenny. Well, Magnus, you passed on 2 questions. You may have started my show, but you're certainly not going to finish it. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I enjoyed it immensely. It was great fun. Splendid exchanging a bit of good-natured badinage with the old harridan. Although I think she's mellowing. She has to watch that a little bit. She mustn't get too nice to people. I think if Anne had ever wanted to go on Mastermind when she was a wee girl, I think she probably could well have chosen the history of broomsticks as her specialist subject.
Round 6. You're up to £9,250. There are 4 of you left, another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. Would you believe it's Jenny? Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Jenny, in the natural world, what is Solomon's seal? A marine mammal or a flower?
A marine mammal.
A flower. Lenny, in Australia, the first penal settlement, founded in 1788, became which modern city?
Canberra.
Sydney. Lionel, in the UK, what name is given to the type of hospital exclusively for women having babies?
Maternity.
Correct. Jim, in cookery, what G means to reduce foodstuffs such as cheese into smaller pieces by rubbing them against a serrated surface?
Grating.
Correct. Jenny, in human anatomy, which part of the face was usually touched by a contestant on the TV show Give Us a Clue to indicate a correct guess?
Nose.
Correct. Lenny, in astronomy, the 8th planet from the Sun is named after which Roman god of the sea?
Neptune.
Correct. Lionel, the Englishmen William Byrd, John Bull and Henry Purcell were all well known as what? Composers or architects?
Composers.
Correct. Jim, in finance, what is the term for a charge made for the use of borrowed money or credit, usually expressed as a percentage of the sum owed?
Interest.
Correct. Jenny, in UK geography, what is the largest city in the area commonly known as Wearside?
Can you repeat the question?
In UK geography, what is the largest city in the area commonly known as Wearside?
Sunderland.
Correct. Lenny, in pop music, which American female rap artist had a 2001 UK hit single with Get Your Freak On?
Christina Aguilera.
Missy Elliott. Lionel, in weather, which term for a thick polluted mist was formed by blending the words smoke and fog?
Smog.
Correct. Jim, in geography, which US state is further north, New York or Florida?
New York.
Correct. Jenny, in fashion, traditionally a bowler hat is worn by members of which sex?
Male.
Correct. Lenny, in food and drink, the name of which hot beverage is sometimes used to denote a cooked evening meal?
Tea.
Correct.
Bang.
Lionel, in maths, what is the square root of the number of people surveyed for each question in the TV game show Family Fortunes?
10.
Correct. Jim, in May 2003, the world's... Well, see what happens when you get rid of Magnus. You've banked £3,250. But don't think, Jim and Jenny, we didn't notice you were cheating.
I was just coughing.
The question now is, should Jenny throw in the towel? Maybe Lionel should just tap off. It's time to get rid of the weakest link.
With the most correct answers, Lionel is the strongest link. The weakest link statistically is Lenny, but will the team notice that?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Lenny.
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 Jim.
Lionel, why Lenny?
It goes back a long way, actually, and I'll never forgive him on Give Us a Clue, and I was captain of the men's team, and I was doing a clue. Lenny told all the guys not to guess, even if they guessed. He's a dear friend, but I've never forgiven him for that.
Jim, for everybody's elderly mother, could you do some of your catchphrases from the old days?
I can do them all for you in 20 seconds.
Go on.
Super smashing great, look at what you could have won, keep out of the black and in the red, nothing in this game for two in the bed, lovely couple, now sod off.
Why Lenny?
Sadly, he got him. I felt sorry for Lenny because he's been the strongest all night, really. He's answered more, but the pop questions came up, and it's just one of those things. He got two wrong, sadly.
Lenny, you are the weakest link. Bye.
Oh, I think Lionel's got to go now. There's no question about that. I think Lionel should leave the show and the country.
Round 7. You now have £12,500. There are 3 of you left, another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Lionel. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Lionel, Lionel, the Latin phrase terra firma refers to what? Dry land or open sea?
Dry land.
Correct, Jim. In UK money, what is the face value of the coin in current circulation that has a representation of Britannia on the reverse?
50 pence piece.
Correct, Jenny. In World War I, the recruitment posters picturing Lord Kitchener carried the slogan, "Your what needs you?"
Your country.
Correct, Lionel. In the children's TV series Rainbow, the character called George was a pink representation of which animal?
George was the snail.
Hippopotamus. Jim. In the New Testament, what was the name of the brother of Mary and Martha who was raised from the dead by Jesus?
Christopher Columbus.
Lazarus. Jenny. In woodwork, in the type of joint known as a mortise and tenon, what is the mortise, the hole or the prong?
The prong.
The hole. Lionel, in human biology, during a lifetime, most people grow how many sets of teeth?
2.
Correct, Jim. In a political argument, if those against are described as con or anti, which Latin word is used to specify those in favour?
Pro.
Correct,
Bank.
Jenny. In UK geography, the name of which town in Kent means to distribute cards at the start of a game?
Deal.
Correct. Lionel, in April 2003, which 1970s motorcycle stuntman signed over the rights for a rock opera based on his life?
Eddie Kidd.
No, Evel Knievel. Jim, which items of equestrian equipment are you said to win if you achieve great distinction?
Rosettes.
Spurs. Jenny, in the Republic of Ireland, what type of aquatic mammal is fungi, who moved to Dingle Bay in the 1980s and has become a tourist attraction?
Can you repeat the question?
In the Republic of Ireland, what type of aquatic mammal is fungi, who moved to Dingle Bay in the 1980s and has become a tourist attraction?
Barnacles.
Dolphin. Lionel, in pop music, which female singer had a UK #1 hit single in the 1980s with I Wanna Dance With Somebody?
Lindsay DePaul.
No, Whitney Houston. Jim, in US politics, before Bill Clinton... Time's up and you only won £250. Now, in round 8, you get the chance to treble what you bank. Before that, have the courage to vote off the weakest link.
Statistically, Jenny is the strongest link. With the most wrong answers, Lionel is now the weakest link. But who will survive the final vote?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Jim.
Jenny.
Jim.
Lionel, why Jim?
I'm absolutely astonished. Because he got a question wrong.
Jenny, why Jim?
Because he's been misbehaving all evening. He's made this night twice as long as it should be. He keeps playing with the audience and mucking about, and he's not doing as he's told, so I think he should get off.
Jim, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I wasn't robbed. It's difficult when you're up there. I don't know how the general public handle it because we were really on edge with it. If I'm answering a question where the answer is Spurs and I knew the answer and I'm coming out with Rosette, the wheel's going round, but the gerbil's left the cage, hasn't it?
Round 8. You've won £12,750. By now, you could have won £35,000. 2 of you left. In this round, you have 90 seconds. But whatever you win will be trebled. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Jenny. Let's play the weakest link. Knock, knock. Jenny, in food, balsamic, malt and cider are all varieties of which pickling and preserving agent?
Vinegar.
Correct. Lionel, in TV, which sitcom character introduced in the 1960s regularly referred to his wife as a silly old moo?
Alf Garnett.
Correct. Jenny, in literature, in 1844, Alexandre Dumas wrote the novel The Count of Ware?
Monte Cristo.
Correct. Lionel, in measuring
Back.
sound levels, the initials DB are an abbreviation of which word?
Decimal.
No, decibel.
No.
Jenny, in theatre, when the actors take a bow at the end of a show, it is known as a curtain what?
Call.
Correct. Lionel, in painting, which implement used by an artist as a flat surface on which to mix paint sounds like a name for the roof of the mouth?
Palette.
Correct. Jenny, in the TV game show 3-2-1, the booby prize was always a brand new what?
Bin.
I'll accept. Lionel,
Bank.
comedian Hugh Laurie, photographer Lord Snowdon and Olympic medalist Matthew Pinsent have all competed in which annual rowing event?
Cambridge. Oxford and Cambridge.
I'll accept. Jenny, in the animal kingdom, which 5-letter word meaning county is the name of a breed of draft horse that has long hair on its lower legs?
Can you say it again, please?
In the animal kingdom, which 5-letter word meaning county is the name of a breed of draft horse that has...
Shire.
correct. Lionel, in pop music, the reggae rap artist that sang the 1992 song Mr. Loverman is known as Shabba who?
I have no idea.
Ranks. Jenny, in maths, what is 32 plus 34?
69.
Time's up. The correct answer was 66. Between you won £1,000, which will treble and add to the winnings from the previous rounds. That means prize money tonight, team, of £15,750. Only one of you can take that money away, so now you'll play against each other. I'll ask alternating questions, best of 5. Whoever answers the most correctly wins. If there's a tie after 5, we'll go for sudden death until we have a winner. So Lionel and Jenny, for £15,750. Let's play the weakest link. Jenny is the strongest link in the last round. You have the choice of who goes first.
I'd like to go first, please, Anne.
Jenny, in pop music, the two-word title of which 2003 album by Blur can also mean a group of experts who come up with new ideas.
True. Is that right?
The correct answer is think tank. Lionel, which former presenter of the Today programme on Radio 4 has also chaired the TV quiz shows Ask the Family and Call My Bluff?
Robert Robinson.
That is the correct answer. Jenny, in biology, which bodily feature prominent in males derives its name from the biblical story of the forbidden fruit, which is said to have stuck in the throat?
Adam's apple.
That is the correct answer. Lionel, what is the full name of the Oscar-winning director who revisited the wreck of RMS Titanic to film the 2003 IMAX documentary Ghosts of the Abyss?
Oh, James Cameron.
That is the correct answer. Jenny, in TV, which quiz show was the first programme to be broadcast on Channel 4?
Countdown.
That is the correct answer. Lionel, the 18th century author Samuel Johnson said of which natural tourist attraction in Northern Ireland, worth seeing, yes, but not worth going to see?
The Giant's Causeway.
That is the correct answer. Jenny, in brewing and winemaking, the name of which measure of capacity literally means the front end of a pig?
Snout.
No, the correct answer is hogshead. Lionel, in entertainment, the first names of performers surnamed Selick, Van Dyke and Houdini together make up which common phrase?
Van Dyke beard is the only beard I can... Dick Van Dyke.
The correct answer, Lionel, is Tom, Dick and Harry. Jenny, in language, the name of which Latin American country follows the words a man, a plan, a canal to make a well-known palindrome?
Rio.
No, the correct answer is Panama. That means, Lionel, you are tonight's strongest link and you go away with £15,750. I believe it. What are you going to do with the money?
It goes to, and I know you'll be very pleased with this, I belong to the celebrity arm of Help the Aged, which is Stage for Age, and I'm giving my money to them.
Jenny, you leave with nothing. Join us again for the weakest link. Bye.
I can't actually believe that I got to the weakest link final and then I got picked to the post with Lionel Blair, and then he goes and gives all that money, $15,750, to a charity for old people. I mean, haven't we done enough on this show for old people? They were on.
I never thought I would win, and to win, be able to say, I've won the weakest link, is probably one of the greatest things in my career.